Welcome to Onewheel Underground Circuit, the Uno.
What's up, Ben? How's it going?
Doing good, Ryan. How are you?
Good. Underground Circuit going strong. It's crazy, insane. My mind is blown at where we're going with this. There's so many people riding. I can't keep track. This is over my head, brother.
Yeah, it definitely blew up. I think we got to start with some Shredfest talk, just because there was so many people at Shredfest. Met a lot of underground circuit racers there. I rode tracks on my way up and back from Shredfest.
Yeah.
How was Shredfest for you? I thought it was
So
super sweet.
two different levels. It was super cool. I love the vibe of it. Just everybody chilling, watching bands and people, but also meeting a lot of people that I was like, oh man, you're on the underground circuit leaderboard, and I start putting faces to people, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm making immediate friends, and then also I'm making competitive friends that I'm like, okay, I need to beat you next time I go down there.
Yeah.
But it was really cool, and dude, Shredfest was amazing. I mean, it was on so many levels. Just I've raced, but I've never just chilled out and listened to music and hung out with the people, and that's not have it. I haven't experienced that, and it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. It was awesome. I mean, obviously there were races at Shredfest. We're the underground circuit racing, so we probably won't get into that too much. But it was great just to meet people that were stoked on the racing circuit. You know, it's like we do this, but we don't really get the feedback that much. But I met Patrick from San Diego. I met Jafari, the Hawaiian
Yeah.
kid. He was
Wait,
I was like, wait, are you Jafari on Strava? And he's like, wait, you saw my Strava? So
you're,
yeah.
you're
So
10 years old. How was he, 11?
I don't know how old he is, but he's a kid, and he's in the leaderboards with the adults. So
Yeah.
Shredfest was great. Yeah, thanks to everybody that put that together. Thanks to everybody that came out. Thanks to everybody that played music. Yeah, it was awesome. On
Yeah,
my
San
on my
Ramon.
own personal journey, I on the way up, I hit Monterey again. Didn't really move
Mhm.
up in the leaderboards, but I improved my own time, so I was happy about that. And then I also rode Santa Cruz. I rode Santa Cruz, I think of maybe around 9:30 in the morning, and I literally ran into other one-wheelers. Not literally, but it was almost a head-on collision. I ran into Brenda and Jordan from San Diego. They were running the Santa
Cool.
Cruz track at the same time, like the day before Shredfest.
That's
Went,
what this is all about, is
yeah,
just randomly running into people that you may or may not know on a
yeah,
trail. Oh, you're running this too?
yeah,
Yeah, let's put it together.
yeah. Brenda even said, she's like, I knew we would run into somebody here. Because with
Mhm.
Shredfest, obviously, it's in Northern California, so people were taking road trips to go, and they were hitting the tracks on the way there and back. On the
Yeah,
way back, I got to hit Sidewinder in South Lake Tahoe. That's now my all-time favorite trail. That trail is so sick. And
yeah.
when I was there, I actually did it 2 days. The first day, I ran into Dustin from Killguards.
Okay.
He's from Idaho, so I don't think he's really doing the underground circuit racing. But it was just super random. I parked, and he parked literally 2 minutes after me, and we rode the trail together. And then the day after that, there was a ton of people there. So Sidewinder got a lot of action. Um, After that, I went to Sacramento, linked up with Jeff and the Float Life guys, hit the Sacramento Trail. Yeah, so I was able to get 2 new trails. And now Fresno's the last one. That's the
This
unicorn
week,
for
you
me.
hit
Yeah,
it.
and I have a trip
Um,
planned, so I'll see you this
so yeah,
weekend.
my story is I got pretty beat up at Shredfest. I feel like I did well. I raced against the amateurs, which I'm a heavy guy, so it was a tough one, and I really beat myself up, and I just didn't have it in me to go run trails afterwards, so I went home. But
Yeah,
it is what it is. I'll definitely hit all of them eventually. It's just a matter of time. But that wasn't the time because I was hurt.
yeah. Well, get to Sidewinder no matter what. That trail is super
Very
fun.
soon. Very soon.
Okay. So now we need to get into the standings, right? This is what the people are here for.
Yeah,
So,
let's do it.
Sidewinder is going to be the first one we're going to look at,
Yeah.
right?
So Dave Stewart's holding strong at 5:33, which is a great time. Dave, obviously a local, and I got a lot of respect for Dave, Tahoe Dave. He lost at first, took it back, and he's holding strong. So Austin, Jamie, who's a local, Jeff McCosker holding in there strong. I mean, just to have Jeff at fourth shows that he's a strong competitor. Neil. So the new names on the list are Ori, Lars, and Robert Allen, who is Badger, Mr. Badger. Those three names are new on. I'll go even further. Jesse, and Floaty. Basically the lower part of this is all new.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah. Well, in the top 5, those guys are all kind of in the area, right? Like Jamie's the ambassador, Jeff's in Sacramento, Neil and Austin are up in that area. Dave, obviously Tahoe Dave, so they have the advantage of running it a lot.
Yeah.
So the bottom half is more the visitors. But also,
I give credit to Ori. Ori came in. Mr. Ori, who is Flight Fins, comes in, takes a strong 6th, which is only 14 seconds down, and out of towner. He's from like Ohio or something like that, and puts a strong time down. So to Ori.
And I met Lars at Shredfest. He's an up and comer. Like he's starting to put some times down. Not totally sure where he's from, but I know it's California. And then towards the bottom, Jesse and Brendan, Floaty, they're doing a road trip. They're just tearing up all the courses. That was a crazy day. Like a lot of those people were there on the same day, hitting it. So, and
like a party.
Yeah.
Party. It's a race party.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one.
Sac. We got TFL River Run, which is a very strong course because TFL is right down the street and it's got a lot of people hitting it. So what do you got?
Yeah, so I rode it for the first time. It was cool. I hung out at the Float Life shop. They have an awesome operation there. Rode the half pipe after I signed the waiver. But yeah, it's like you ride from Float Life shop along the river, and then you go right to the trail. It's fun. I mean, it's challenging. There is a hill you have to run up. I'm not sure anybody makes it up that hill because it's kind of loose gravel. Maybe the kids can make it up there. It's got a pavement section, which I think none of the other trails have. But then the trail parts are really fun. There's bumpiness. There's technical stuff. There is a nudge. But yeah, let's look at. So now Jeff has been kind of knocked out on this one because people are riding it. So we got Neil in first, Austin in second, Floaty in third, Wade in fourth. So
he's a new namer for our list.
Yeah, and like I've seen him posting on like Facebook and stuff. I don't know much about him, but he's ahead of Jeff, who's in fifth. Lars, Jesse tied for sixth. Conscious Rhythms, this is one of the Hawaiian guys. Jafari, Hawaiian Kid in there.
Yeah.
And he's tied with Ori for ninth.
So it shows you how strong those times are where Jeff's at fifth. And I know Jeff actually moved up with time. He's killing the times, but when you got Floaty, Austin, and Neil above him, this is a tough track.
Yeah, he's like, I have work to do. I got to get back out there.
I called him out in the last episode, but it was just joking. I know those times are super strong, and you got a lot of light guys on there, which is tough to do. But you know what? That's what the fun is. Jeff doesn't need to come in first. All he needs to do is get top 10. Super fun trail with all the TFL side of it, which secret, it's official sponsor.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that later, but dude, that it may not be the most coolest trail out of all the 10, but just the fact that it's close to TFL and the kind of competition that you have on it is exciting. I can't wait to ride it, which I planned on riding it, and I'm going to ride it this week, I promise.
All right, let's get to the next one.
CRUZ.
Santa Cruz, ganja smuggling.
So ganja smuggling turned out to be the sleeper of all of them. I wasn't too sure if ganja smuggling was going to be a super popular one because of the navigation side of it, but dude, it's blowing up, and it's Santa Cruz. So I mean, Santa Cruz is Santa Cruz, right? And dude, we have 29 people on the leaderboard. Oh, yeah, I mean, you are from Santa Cruz. It is a fun trail, and we got some big namers on her. So go ahead and go.
Yeah, and like it's central. I feel like the central ones are getting a bit more action just because people are either in the area or they went up to Shredfest to ride it. I know a lot of these times are.
Week,
yeah.
You know, because of Shredfest, and it definitely got destroyed. And the times are set, in my opinion, but we'll see. So
yeah. So I mean, we need to we should dub this the Jesse and Floaty road trip, pretty much, because Jesse and Floaty came south from Shredfest and tore up the tracks. So we got Jesse, Jesse in first, Floaty in second. They knocked Jeff down to third. Devin, SC Locals in fourth now.
By the way, Dev, I rode against Dev in the amateurs on Float Fest, and Dev's fast. So the fact that he's in fourth on this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I've ridden with Dev in Santa Cruz a couple times. He's fast, and he likes the roots. Like, he likes that stuff. Like, he wants the technical stuff.
So to have him in fourth shows how fast those times are.
Yeah. Okay, now so we have an interesting development here. People might recognize this name, 5, Cade.
Who is that?
Cade works for Future Motion. If we scroll down a little bit, we got number 9, Adam Laser. So these are the Future Motion guys, dude. They're in it.
Are they on stock boards?
They are on stock boards. So we have
Are they sneaking out with like TFL Burst Pros? No.
or mountain bikes. Right? I was like, maybe they're trolling us and they're riding mountain bikes. No, we have confirmation. So I think Floaty and Jesse ran into those guys in Santa Cruz because they were there at the same time, and they're riding stock boards, which is that's gonna be a testament. Like, this is what they should do, right? They should prove that the stock board with the Vega can compete against boards that have upgraded batteries, treaded tires, WTF rails. They're doing it. So and he's fast, you know?
I'm going to give shout out to Cade.
Or fifth.
Cade at fifth, and Adam at, what is Adam? Ninth. Props to you guys, dude.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you guys for doing this on a stock board.
I'm happy that they're in there. Like, I kind of wanted, I mean, it's right in their own backyard. Obviously, you know, Onewheel's based in Santa Cruz. I'm sure that they probably have ridden it on their mountain bikes before, but it's awesome that they're out there on the stock Onewheels. I would kind of expect and hope that they're going to hit Monterey next. Followed by San Luis Obispo. So, Cade and Laser, get out there. Kind of wondering where Ted is, but, you know. But I was happy to see that. That's awesome. So, they're doing it, and they're fast.
So,
they're in the running here.
Raquel's holding it at 10th.
Let's real quick, we'll throw it at Max is 6th, San Jose. I have a feeling he'll go back out there. Jafari again, Hawaiian kid. He's right up in there with the adults. Luca.
Yeah, I saw him. He's fast, so good for him.
Santa Cruz is there's a lot of action.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's move to the next one.
All right, let's cut over to Paul for the Monterey track. Hey, Paul, how's it going?
Hey, Ryan, doing well. Hey, Ben.
Welcome to the show, Paul.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, so ProRide is a sponsor of PR Shack Attack in Monterey. Tell us about ProRide a little bit.
So ProRide is the surf-related one-wheel company. You know, we make the soft surf traction pads and, make it nice and fun and comfortable. And you know, all that good stuff, the designs and all that stuff. And, you know, my background is from surfing, obviously. I'm a snowboarder too, mostly surfer. But, you know, I've turned a one wheel into my surfboard basically, you know, so that's what I rock is traction pads. And then our track that we ride, I've been riding for years, is Shack Attack. Just lately named it that. Didn't know it was so important until all the riders came by and rode it and said, "Hey, this is a track." I mean, Ryan and Tadu came by and rode it, and you know, and they're like, "Hey, let's start racing." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Sure."
How'd you discover it? So it's in Fort Ord. It's in kind of an interesting area of Fort Ord. You wouldn't just like stumble across it. So how'd you actually discover it?
I had a buddy show it to me. He was a bike rider, you know.
Okay.
I showed it to me years ago, and only because he knew I had a one wheel. He's like, "Hey, let's go check this track." So I guess it's a track that mountain bike guys ride. You know,
I've never seen any mountain bikers on it.
I know.
That's
I
weird.
haven't either. I've only seen walkers.
Dirt
It's old. It's an old track. It's probably from, I don't know, the 90s, maybe later than that. Fort Ord is an interesting area. It's like you know, an old army base that no longer is there, and you know, there's areas that are not being used, and there's areas like this that is in between a neighborhood and, you know, a big street, and we found it, and it's just a little gem in the forest.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And it seems to be pretty popular among everybody that's rode multiple tracks just because it's so flowy. So tell us a little bit about the name.
And so Shack Attack is, if you ever rode the course, you'll understand it. But Shack, and if you're a surfer, you really understand it. But Shack Attack is, we call getting barreled in a shack. You know what I mean? So, you know, you're tight in this little tube. You're in this little shack, and the attack part is like, it's like the barrel trying to close in on you. It's little branches, you know what I mean? You're going through this little tube left and right here. You're trying to get through and just make your way through. And you know, it's fast, it's quick, you know, there's lots of turns, and you know, it's like surfing.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now let's check out the PR Shack Attack standings. Okay, first place, we have Jesse. Second place, Neil. Third, Jeff. Fourth, Teddy. Fifth, Adanja. Sixth, Floaty. 7, Conscious Rhythms. 8, Jafari. 9, Jamie. Tied for 9th with Will. Okay, so there's a lot of Hawaiians on the board here because they came for Shredfest and then they made the trip south. So
It's kind of fitting that the Hawaiians took over the Surf Shack Attack, huh?
Yeah. Hey, they were naming it Shark Attack. I saw on the Instagram. They got to get that one straight, man. It ain't no Shark Attack.
Yeah, that's what you don't want if you're surfing.
Exactly.
But yeah, this is a big change from before. Obviously, a lot of new names on the board here. Jesse's been killing it in all the races. Okay, then we know Neil. Jeff has been dethroned. Jeff had first on this before, I think, right?
No,
Neil's
Neil's
first.
had first.
Neil had first.
And, Neil threw down that time like at the very beginning, and I think Neil can come back and probably beat that time. My guess.
And then Teddy, of course, is the local ambassador, so he rides it all the time.
So Teddy's been killing it. I got to give him credit. He's been slowly cutting away seconds and moving up and up and up, and that's a hard work fourth right there from Teddy. I give him credit. I mean, he is hanging there with the big boys, and it's because he goes out there and just chips away at it.
Yeah. No, it's you know, when all the guys come out, it makes you push yourself to the limit, you know, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
And then so Adanja is one of the Hawaiian kids, which is pretty cool to see, like the kids up in the leaderboards with the adults.
The kids are
11 years old.
Yeah, they're fast. They're so light.
And not taking anything against them, but that uphill for those light guys, they can blast through that, which makes up some time too. But he's fast. I mean, they destroyed some of the adults at Shredfest, those kids.
Yeah, and then we got Floaty. So I know him and Jesse took a road trip south from Shredfest, so they're riding all these tracks together, and they've been killing it on all of them. Conscious Rhythms is one of the Hawaiian dads, right? I don't think I've met
Yeah.
him, but do you know his name? His
I
actual name?
believe it's Logan.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
rode with him.
Jafari, also one of the kids, pretty awesome. Then we got Jamie in ninth, my buddy here from LA.
And we can't just brush over Jamie. Jamie, considering that he's a Clydesdale and a larger guy, is crushing that trail because it does have some uphill.
Yeah.
And Jamie did his pilgrimage down up north last week for Shredfest before it. And that's a good time. I mean, he was up there earlier in the boards and then he kind of got pushed down by the Hawaiians, but to be still on the board as a Clydesdale, much respect to Jungle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
work. And then he's tied with Will Silsley, which I think is another one of the Hawaiians, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
They
All
just
right.
destroyed it. They came in and took over.
Okay, that's awesome. So that's Monterey. And yeah, let's move on to the next track. Thanks,
you,
Paul.
Paul.
Thanks for joining us, Paul.
Yeah, guys, so much fun. Till next
Cheers.
time. Cheers, guys.
All right, let's go to Fresno. Jeff holding strong at number 1. Not much change here. We got Raquel, me, Dan White. Nothing's really changed. The bottom portion has changed from the guys that were traveling up to Shredfest. We got Neil, Matthew, and Patrick who brought up the last 3. Hard thing about Fresno is it's getting hot, so there's not a lot of riders out here, but it's stagnated a little bit, but we got some movement at the bottom.
Yeah, like Neil and Patrick came up from San Diego for that. Matthew Miranda, I'm not sure who that is. You know him?
I don't know him, but I've seen him on some of the other leaderboards, so I know he's been around.
And Brian Smith he's local, right?
Yes, that's this Fun Wheel.
Oh, okay. This Fun Wheel. Okay, great.
Yeah.
He's on there.
Yeah, he's doing good. Brian's one of my locals, so if you don't know, I'm from Fresno, and that's my trail. And Brian Smith, who is this Fun Wheel, is the guy.
Nice.
He's doing well on that trail, so cool.
Okay, let's get into the next
All right.
one.
San Luis Obispo, which had the most movement out of all of them this week. Let's go.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. So again, with the Shredfest road trips, the Floaty Jesse road trip duo, Dynamo took it down. Floaty took first. Jesse took second. Zach Zinn, who I met at Shredfest, he's from Phoenix.
Yeah.
He's fast. He won the over 50 division at Shredfest.
Yeah.
Daniel is the local guy there. Paul holding down 5th. We got Jamie in 6th and Patrick in 7th. Those are both the Clydesdales. Edge Blanco, Marco, who I also met at Shredfest for the first time.
Marco, what's up, brother?
He's in 8th.
So basically, the whole top of the Santa Luis Obispo, or we call it slow, has been changed up. We
Yeah.
got the lower section that's kind of been the standard from Paul, who was first earlier. I'll be honest, Floaty's time, I've ridden San Luis Obispo. It's one of my favorite trails. It's the sleeper of the group. Floaty's time is amazing. Just gonna tell you, I don't think that time's beatable.
Yeah, well, Floaty's amazing in himself. So, but
It's all downhill. It's fast. There's some tech sections, and Floaty
Get out there.
destroyed this. I mean, Jesse's fast, and he beat Jesse by 42 seconds. 42
yeah, but so I mean, maybe Jesse had a crash or something, and with that, you can't really run it. You can really only run it maybe 2 times or 3 times on an upgraded battery.
You have to have them on, but my thoughts are, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Floaty's time is unbeatable on this.
Ooh, you heard it here first. An unbeatable time. Somebody get out there and beat it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it. Maybe Austin or Neil will prove me wrong, but as somebody that's run slow, I don't know how you could run that faster than 642. I just don't know.
Well, I mean, Austin and Neil haven't been here yet, and I know Austin was talking about a SoCal trip at some point, so we'll see.
Yeah.
And then we'll just 9th and 10th, we got my buddy Nikki and Luca.
Vegas.
Has Vegas changed at all?
No, Vegas will never change. So
It's like, should we get rid of this one?
you know what? It's there, and it'll always be there. It's kind of like
Yeah.
a thorn in your ass,
I guess so.
right?
I mean, I don't think anybody's going back out to Vegas.
Vegas is probably 115 degrees right now.
And we have Isaac, who's from like Montana, I think, right in second.
It is what it is. I
don't
love
know.
that track. It's a fast track. No one's gonna go out there and ride it.
All right, here we are with Drew from LA. How's it going, Drew?
What's up, guys? Doing
Cheers.
well,
Cheers,
thanks.
Drew.
Cheers.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the whoops and waterworks, but first let's get to know you a little bit. You went to Shredfest. You want to tell us a little bit about your Shredfest trip and what tracks you rode?
Yeah, Shredfest was awesome. Was actually in Tahoe for about a week afterwards, riding all the trails up there. So was able to hit Sidewinder. Stinger is a really cool track up there by Tahoe Dave's. Probably the coolest track up there. It would have been nice if they used Stinger instead of Sidewinder.
Maybe next year.
Ooh, maybe
Never
next
know.
year. Yeah.
I think that would be a good choice. Yeah, it's long and it's a little more flowy. Well, not more flowy, but yeah, really cool track, really cool trail. Took a few diggers on my knee, so I've just been icing and elevating for the last few days since I got back. But the Shredfest was awesome. Had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, it was great to go to Shredfest and talk to everybody, especially about the racing. Okay, and also, so you are starting a company called Floatified. That's Onewheel related,
Yeah.
right? So tell us about Floatified a bit.
Yeah, Floatified's just about ready to launch. I'm basically going to be doing pop-up parties, mainly with drug rehab centers, doing kind of a surf therapy vibe with Onewheels.
I like it. Yeah.
Land surfing therapy. Also going to be doing like birthday parties and lessons and tours. I'm really happy about that. And I got 7 XRs now, or 6 XRs
Whoa.
and 1 pint.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got a nice little fleet together.
Fleet.
3 Vegas and 3 Shreddeds with flight fins. So be able
Nice.
to take some people out and really get it going, spread the stoke.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
so
okay.
let's. This seems like a good
Thanks.
place. Let's jump into the standings right now. We're gonna go whoops. So
Sure.
whoops.
My home court.
Home court advantage here. Number 1, Drew.
So, Drew, the reason you're on here is because you're kind of the ghost that come out of nowhere, honestly. To be able to beat Floaty by 10 seconds, a lot of people were like, is this guy for real? Like, did he cheat? Did he ride like a Suron on this course or something like
Yeah.
that?
Okay, tell us about that run. Like how are you able to do it?
Well, I've only used Strava on that course, I think twice now, or actually, no, I guess it is 4 times. But my 2 minutes and 22 seconds was the only time I was really trying to set the record. The time I got 2:37, I was going fast through there. It was actually my first run back after Arkansas being injured. I took about a week off after Arkansas because I strained my hip flexor and my quad on my front foot from running them out. It had actually already been a little strained before Arkansas, to be fair, but I took about a week off after I got back, and my first run back, I think it was with you. Yeah, it was with you, Ben, and Nikki was there, a few other guys. Actually, first run on my CBXR after getting it back, because one of my cells was bad for a long time. Anyway, so I wasn't really trying to set the record on that one. You guys said, oh, you came in second, and I was actually kind of surprised. So when I got the 2:22, I was really trying.
Yeah.
It was
Nice.
actually my second run through there after Vegas, because I really strained my leg in Vegas, re-aggravated it. But I found the right line. It's really important to have the right line through there. If you don't
Yeah.
have the right line, you're not going to get anywhere near 2:22.
Okay, so
What's
where
your thought?
it's
Can you cut time on that, you think? Is there any wiggle room on that?
maybe like a second or two. There was
Okay.
one spot where I came around a turn and had to kind of slow down to get back on course. Kind of towards the top. I think it's after you come around one of the berms. There's like a weird little bump there, and if you take it too wide, you're gonna run into that bump,
Yeah.
letting out some secrets. But
What's your strategy? What's your strategy for dealing with the whoops themselves? You know, the up and down little tabletops.
go fast. And,
Are you catching air?
Push down.
Are you launching?
Yeah.
You
off
catch
of there?
air off of them for sure, right?
Yeah. When you're going that fast, you definitely catch some air, but try to suck it up as much as possible. Try to absorb the
Suck it up. Yeah.
You know, suck your legs up and then push your legs back down.
Yeah.
And go straight. You don't want to be going. You don't want to be turning one side or the other at all.
Right.
Stay real tight on top of the board.
All right. Let's
So
look
let's look
at the
at
standings. Rest of the standings here.
Yeah.
We got Floaty in second.
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan in third from San Diego. Victor's holding down fourth still from OC. Tim from San Diego is in fifth. Kyle is in sixth, and that time is from so long ago, but it's still holding up.
Yep.
Okay, then Jamie and Robert, aka Soup, are tied for seventh. Travis from San Diego in ninth. And then Ricky, San Diego, 10th. So, yeah, a lot of San Diego people on the board. Need to get more LA locals in there. But,
and I can
Yeah.
tell when a track is kind of getting to its peak by how much of a time frame there is between riders. And if you look at it, there's only 20 seconds from first to 10th. That means those times are getting really tight. And my opinion is that track is almost maxed out. So those are good times. I'm not saying that, Drew, you can't be beat, but at the same point, like, I know that that's a solid time. You're going to no doubt be at the top, especially if you go back out, if Floaty comes out. My guess is it's going to be a battle between you and Floaty, and this will be a fun walk. It'll be interesting. I think there's still some wiggle room, but I'm enjoying watching it, and hopefully I'll be down there pretty soon.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be great. I live 15 minutes from the Whoops, and I have a decent sized place. So if you need a place to crash,
Nice.
I got you.
or charge.
All right.
That's the important one, charging.
And charge, yeah. I got a great recharge station.
You want to switch over to Waterworks?
Yeah.
Move on. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, you destroyed Waterworks at number 1. You're 16 seconds above Travis. Tell us about Waterworks.
Waterworks is tricky. There's a few spots that you really have to choose your line through them. At my first run, it was 4:17. I was going pretty fast. I didn't check the course out at all. I just wanted to get through it as quick as I could, just on a straight shot. And then just kind of got a feel for it. And then the next run, I kind of slowed down and actually got off my board a couple times and looked at where it was going to be able to get through going real fast. And then after that, I think I got down to like 4 minutes, 4 seconds, and then 3:51, and then 3:39, and then I shaved off 30 seconds that last run.
Nice.
So I was really
Nice.
happy about that. At first, for a little while, I didn't think I was going to be able to shave off that much. I was thinking like there's some spots right here that are really hard to get through. But once I laid it all down nice and smooth, it worked out.
Nice.
All right. Let's talk about the standings. Okay.
So
So,
we got Travis in second. So San Diego Travis, he's been holding on strong. Victor, who's a local.
yeah, he's the local ambassador for that track.
Neil's got a lot of spots on different tracks, looking good. Who's Knoxzilla?
Our boy Knoxzilla. Yeah. LA local.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
he's up in
our,
Pasadena.
Our buddy Michael, aka Knock.
He's up in Pasadena. He posts a lot on Instagram. Knoxzilla 84.
Did you ride it with him?
Yeah, he was there.
He was there. Okay. Zachary Zinn. I'm not sure how many of the boards he's on, but yeah, he's fast.
He's on a few. He's on our final standings board. You got Ted Lynn, and look who's at number 7. Ben. Ben's at number 7.
Oh, look at me! Yeah. I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised that I beat Patrick on this one. Yeah, this is just another case of not enough people have ridden it, so that's why I'm on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, get down there and ride it, because yeah, you can get on the board.
Nothing against you, Andrew, but I think because you are dominating this, but I do think there's a lot of wiggle room on this on Waterloo.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna see. I think you're gonna see some guys come in there, like when Floaty gets in there and stuff, and they're gonna start chopping some time. So
Yeah.
that's the
I'm looking
drawback.
forward to it.
You're the time trendsetter, but at the same point, like, is that time gonna hold? And
Well,
you might have to have back.
You're the one to beat. I know. Yeah, Floaty and
It
Jesse.
feels good.
Floaty and Jesse are gonna hit that, and they're gonna be trying to beat your time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it's about.
I feel like the whoops, and Waterworks. I feel like the weight is not such an issue in them, as far as there's no uphills and there's no like sudden starts. It's kind of like you get your momentum going and you just kind of hold it. So it's fairly technical. It's not like a rock garden type of technical, but you got to pick the right line. You got to hit the right line.
All right, sweet. Well, yeah, that's Waterworks. Thanks, Drew, for joining us. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Thanks,
Okay,
everyone.
moving on to the next
Peace out.
track.
What's up, Patrick? We're here with Patrick. He's from San Diego. We're going to talk to him about the San Diego bow tie run. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Welcome to the show.
Sorry.
I'll have one of those later.
Okay, well, I got to meet you at Shredfest for the first time, which
Yeah.
was awesome. Good to see you there. And we know you hit some of the underground tracks on your way to and from Shredfest. Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. So I was planning on getting to Shredfest a little bit early and hitting that trail. But when they released the timesheets and everything of like when we can arrive, when check-in is, I had already requested Wednesday through the following Tuesday off. So I decided instead of just chilling at home for a couple of days that I'd road trip up California and hit some of the underground trails that I wouldn't pretty much be able to hit without a road trip. Yeah, so I went up.
That's smart right there. That's smart.
Planning ahead.
Yeah. Plus, it got some extra riding in to get ready for Shredfest. But I wasn't expecting anything. And then I hit, Waterworks on the way up. And then I was going to hit Whoops, but the GPS took me a funny way, and I knew I needed to end up in Slow that night. But the morning I hit Hazards and Slow, and went over to Fresno later that day, and then hit up Sacramento before I went to Shredfest. And on the way back, I hit Shack Attack. So
you took the long way in and out, and I'm impressed that you came to Land of the Dirt People, Fresno. You came out of your way, so you got props in my book.
Definitely. No, I knew I wanted to hit Blue Oak. It looked like a great trail along the lake. I didn't realize how high up that ledge was. So I just really I don't do well with heights. So I was just super laser focused on that trail to try to not look at the drop.
I've heard that from a lot of people now. I've heard that from about probably 3 or 4 people now that's a sketchy ledge. And if you lose your board, you're going to actually lose it for good right there.
Yeah, it's probably, I don't know, you'd know better than me, but it's probably a good 40 feet down to the rocks. So
Yeah.
A random boater was like, hey, just be careful around that turn past the parking lot because it's going to drop and you go over. Bad.
Yeah.
But the trail's not sketchy at all at that point. It's just a nice single track.
It's just fast. It's about how fast you
Yeah.
can take it. And with that cliff, and Jeff McCosker said the same thing. It's a little bit like, okay, I don't know how fast I really want to take it on the side of this cliff.
Yeah, and I was just mostly doing a scouting run at first, but then after about a quarter mile, I was like, I might as well just hit this as well as I can. Because I knew I had to drive up to Sac later, and I didn't know if I had enough charge after hitting Hazard in the morning before getting to a charge spot. But super fun trail. Hazard's probably my favorite right now.
Yeah, Hazards is awesome.
But Hazard has some drop-offs too. You weren't a little nervous about? I actually went off the edge of Hazards once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, you weren't worried about that because that's just as sketchy in some places. No?
Yeah, so it's super sketchy. I think it was a little harder than Blue Oak. Floaty and Jesse, they killed it this past week. I didn't expect those times.
Yeah. I didn't either. I didn't know that was possible.
All right, so how about you give us your take on Bowtie in San Diego?
Yeah, yeah, bow tie is really fun. We used to hit that next to another trail a while back, and then now it's on the one wheel circuit. It's really fast on the fire road at the beginning, and as soon as you take the right hand turn into the actual trail, it just gets interesting. Like that first rock section, super fast, super sketchy. Definitely hit that a couple times too fast and came off the board and just restarted the run. But then it hits some of the chunky sections, the little drop sections, and as a bigger rider, it's definitely a little hard to get up those rocks. But once you get through on a clean run, you can have some really fast times. And my first clean run was the 254 that I hit, and I'm ready to go back. I felt like there was still some speed that I had that I left out there that I think I can break 250, maybe 245.
That's what I like to hear. Yeah. That's
All
what
right.
this is all about. Is like I know exactly which tracks I can go faster on. I'm like, I got to go back. I can cut at least 10 seconds or 20 seconds off that,
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Let's get into the standings for Bowtie.
All
Okay.
right, we got Michael Watts, the unknown, the ghost. But he exists.
He's
People
up
have
there.
one.
He's number one.
Travis, so Travis is in 2. Tell us. I don't know Travis. You're friends with him, San Diego guy.
Yeah, local San Diego guy, really fast. He's I didn't know how fast he really was. On our group rides, he likes to ride fairly conservative, but he's a huge trick guy. Trying to throw down new tricks that people don't really do, and started coming out to races and threw down some really fast times and kind of shocked everybody. But he's an amazing rider, one of my favorite to ride with.
Nice. We see LT, who's the ambassador. He's the one that actually picked Bowtie. So he's holding third. Max, who came down from San Jose, he's holding strong. Fourth. Tim's from San Diego or from LA?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Tim's the guy with the little bracelets, the one wheel bracelets.
Stoke Saver.
Stoke Savers, yeah, those.
Okay.
So he's really cool, really fast too.
All right, we got Jordan at 6, and Jordan he's on some of the other leaderboards. Rick's on a couple leaderboards. I'm pretty sure he's from San Diego, right? So San Diego's owning their own track, which is cool.
Yeah.
Neil, who's hit a lot of cool tracks, and he's all over the boards. And then Adam.
Yeah, Adam's local. Adam rides a lot of the trails with us.
So what I like to see, and everybody's starting to see it too, is it's north versus south. There's all these no-namers, and no disrespect to you, but there's all these guys that are putting in work in San Diego, and they're really fast, and they're not the kind of guy, they're not all Kyles or AJs, but they're putting down times. I mean, a good example is you guys pushed Kyle out of this leaderboard. That's how fast you guys are. And again, Kyle didn't know he was racing, and if he comes back, I'm sure he'll pop back on. But you guys, San Diego, it's stacked with like no-name fast guys, and you guys have been like doing a pilgrimage north and hitting like all the other ones. I'm afraid to see what happens when you guys come too far north, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we get. We ride with Kyle and AJ a lot, and I mean, they host a lot of the group rides. When you get to ride with the fast guys, it pushes you to be faster.
Yeah.
I wonder too, because like San Diego is the furthest south, so geographically, I think a lot of people haven't made it down there yet. So I made it down there and rode, and it's a challenging trail, probably one of the chunkiest I think on the circuit. But I have a feeling that there's going to be more people headed down that way, because I know there's some SoCal trips are planned. So you're going to have like Floaty down there at some point. I think Jeff and Raquel are going to be down there. So I think at this point, San Diego is held by the San Diegans just because more people haven't been down there yet. Okay, Patrick, anything else you want to tell us about San Diego?
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm just super stoked to be able to ride. I was really excited to make a bunch of the top 10s. I think I've rode probably 8 of the 10 trails, and I'm not sure if I'm still on all of them, but I was on at least 4 of them for a little bit. And as a bigger rider, I was just excited to be able to keep up with some of the other guys.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of big riders, though, okay, we got to throw down a congrats on your Shredfest second place win in for the Clydesdales division, right?
yeah, that was the second place, and to go up against Jamie, who's just unbelievably fast. I was so excited. I've only been riding for probably about 7-8 months. To go against Jamie, seeing him when I first started, I was just so excited. But I'm definitely coming for some of his times.
Yeah, nice.
Jamie's a good dude too. But before we break, what's your favorite out of the ones you've rode?
Ooh, if I can nail the downhill on Waterworks, that might be. But Hazard, just with the view, the length, the chunk, the sand, everything, I really like Hazard so far.
And you got to get up here for the whoops pretty soon. It's not too far from San Diego. It's definitely doable.
It's not. I'm coming up to LA, I think July 3rd, so I'll get up to Whoops that weekend.
Oh, nice. For the Meals on One Wheels?
I believe so, yeah.
All right, we should,
let's Flux, Meals on One Wheel.
Shout out to Meals on One Wheels. Flux Movement, grand opening. Meals on One Wheels ride, downtown LA. I will be there. So, yeah, I'll see you there, Patrick.
I'll see you there.
All right, well, thanks for joining us.
Cheers,
and
thanks for doing this, brother.
Yeah, good luck out on the trails.
Wonderful. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are ready for the women's overall standings. Raquel is still in first, not a big surprise, but Brenda is in second. Jennifer is in third. Tori is in fourth. Allie fifth. Pearl sixth. Okay, so Brenda.
Let's be honest here. What's going on is Brenda stepped it up, hit a bunch of trails.
Yeah.
And she's chasing Raquel right now, and I'm proud of her. And she's your friend, so
yeah.
Brenda.
Nice job, Brenda. Yeah, and like she did great at Shredfest. I think she came in second for the women's.
Yeah.
Like Jen rode OC and the whoops.
But you
maybe Bowtie too.
I saw that Tori started chasing, and Brenda kind of stepped it up a little bit more than Tori. I feel like Brenda stepped it up a little bit more than all the other girls, and she's reeling in.
I think Brenda hit more tracks than Tori. I mean, I saw her in Santa Cruz. She hit Monterey, I think, as well. So get out there, hit the tracks, ladies.
And the girls are getting in it. So
it's great to see. Great work, everyone. Yeah. Okay, here we go. The moment everybody's waiting for. The overall standings.
This is big.
There it is. Yeah. Okay, so Brendan
has been top for a while, and all of a sudden,
Floaty is in first. Jesse is in second. Floaty. Okay, that's because those guys hit a bunch of trails after Shredfest and put up great times. Took first and seconds and thirds, and they're up there. Floaty. Nice work, bro. Okay, Neil's in third. Jeff is in fourth. Jeff had previously been in first. He's got a little bit of work to do. Actually, we should note that Neil and Jeff are tied with 11 points there.
Yes.
Austin, fifth. I know Austin's coming south at some point soon, so I think that'll change. Drew, sixth. Travis, seventh. Dave, eighth. Okay, then we got so we got Michael Watts McKenna in ninth, which he only has first place on San Diego, so those 4 points are just from one track. So if he starts to go ride other tracks, who knows what will happen. Raquel tied for ninth with him, so she's holding it down.
Lady, hold it down.
Yeah. Patrick, who we talked to earlier, he's in 10th. Nice work. Isaac in 12th. Soulrider. I'm not sure who that is. Just kidding. That's you. Nice work, dude. You're in 13th. Okay, well, look at
Dude,
this.
I
Wow,
was
look at
first.
this. 13th.
I just keep on boom, 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 boom as the guys get better.
We have a 5-way tie for 13th.
Yeah.
Soulrider,
Yeah.
Jordan from San Diego, Victor from OC, Kyle from San Diego, and then
Yep.
Zach's in from Phoenix. He's making his way up there. Then we bump down to 18th place. Neil is from San Diego. He's tied with Jafari, the Hawaiian kid. 20th is Jamie from Tahoe and LT from San Diego.
Yep.
So that's your top 20 standings right there for this week.
All right. Hey, this was a great episode. There was so much good stuff going on.
Yeah.
My beer's gone.
Thanks for
That's
watching.
the-
Thanks for tuning into the Uno, everybody. We will try to be back next week for more standings on the Onewheel Underground Circuit racing track. So get out there, ride those tracks.
All right.
All right,
Good
bye,
job,
Ryan.
Dan.
Cheers.